Welcome to United Report, your daily hub for all things Manchester United, from transfer news and match updates to exclusive stories. We've got you covered. If you're a true Red Devil, hit subscribe and join the United family. Glory, glory, Man United. Breaking news out of North London Arsenal are reportedly close to giving up on their pursuit of Victor Gyökeres. The Gunners have been locked in tough negotiations with Sporting Lisbon over the 27-year-old striker, but it now looks like a deal is on the verge of collapse. Sporting wants 69 million guaranteed, with 60 million of that paid up front. But Arsenal's current offer falls short, with part of the payment still tied to performance bonuses. Gyökeres has already made it clear he wants to move to the Premier League and skipped pre-season training in Portugal, expecting the deal to go through. However, after intense talks over the weekend failed to yield a breakthrough, Portuguese outlet Bola claims that Arsenal have stopped reaching out a strong signal that they may walk away entirely. This is a major blow for ManUtd, who is desperate to bring in a top-class number 9, with Gyökeres proving too expensive and a deal for Benjamin Sesko already failing due to fee disagreements with RB Leipzig. Arsenal could be left scrambling for striker alternatives. Will they reignite talks or turn to a new target? Let us know who you'd like to see leading the line at the Emirates. Arsenal are close to giving up on a deal for Victor Gyökeres, it's claimed, after still failing to reach an agreement with Sporting Lisbon over a financial package for the sought-after striker. The Gunners have been locked in talks with Sporting over a deal for Gyökeres, 27, after making the Swede their primary striker target. But a delegation led by Andrea Berta, the club's new sporting director, were unable to agree a deal with Sporting during face-to-face talks in Portugal recently. Gyökeres was told he didn't have to return to pre-season training on Monday alongside many of his teammates as the club looked to thrash out a deal. He was told he could stay away until Friday, with the expectation that the two clubs would get a deal agreed and he wouldn't have to join, having made clear that he wants to leave. Speculation over the status of the deal has been rife in recent days, with Sporting demanding a guaranteed 69 million for their number 9, with the vast majority up front. Portuguese outlet Bola now claim that Arsenal are about to give up on achieving a deal after failing to reach out to Sporting to continue negotiations. That comes after intense talks over the weekend between both clubs. Those discussions failed to yield an agreement though, with the report claiming that the deal is now close to collapsing. It's understood that Arsenal and Sporting are struggling to agree the makeup of the transfer fee for the want-away Swede. But Sporting wants 69 million in total, with 60 million up front and the remaining 9 million in add-ons. So far, Arsenal are looking to deal with 56 million up front, 4.5 million in add-ons, and then the remaining 8.5 million in performance-related payments. Thus, it's not all guaranteed money. As such, there's a stalemate. The player has already indicated that he will not return to pre-season training tomorrow as he tries to push through a dream move to the Premier League. News that the deal could now break down will come as a major blow to ManUtd, whose side lacks a quality number 9. It remains to be seen if talks will continue after a break in negotiations or if Arsenal will move on to other targets. The Gunners have also been heavily linked with Benjamin Sesko this summer, and the Slovenia star was the subject of transfer interest from the club last summer before eventually signing a new contract with RB Leipzig. It's understood that Arsenal also struggled to agree a fee with Leipzig for Sesko, though, before approaching Sporting over a deal for Gyökeres. Sesko has been linked with other clubs, including Al Hilal, who are said to be considering a huge offer for the frontman after learning they are unlikely to sign Victor Osimhen. Could Jamie Vardy really become a Manchester United player this summer? At 38, the former Leicester City star is a free agent and has reportedly been offered to the Red Devils. While United continue to chase big money forwards like Ollie Watkins, the club could turn to Vardy if those deals fall through, and guess who would approve? None other than Sir Alex Ferguson himself, who once praised Vardy's relentless energy, pace and finishing. With other names like Calvert-Lewin and Callum Wilson also in the mix, let's break down the latest twist in United's striker search. Sir Alex Ferguson once hailed Jamie Vardy's goal-scoring ability, with Manchester United mulling over a fresh move for the forward. The former England striker is available this summer following his exit from Leicester City. Vardy quit the King Power Stadium following the Midland club's relegation to the Championship. Reports have since suggested that United have been offered Vardy's services as they look to add a new striker to their squad. Given the fact he will be 39 next season, a move for Vardy will only happen towards the end of the window should they lose out on their priority targets. but it appears that legendary former manager Ferguson would be a big fan of a deal, having hailed Vardy in the past. Speaking back in 2015, in the middle of Leicester's title charge, he said, Vardy is aggressive, he is quick, he has got energy, and he has got a goal in him. He has proved that. He has got assets suited to modern-day football, particularly at a club like Leicester City. Our Darren, his son, wanted to sign him at Peterborough, but Leicester came in. Vardy is a great example of never giving in and keeping a great belief in himself. Vardy has gone on to score 145 Premier League goals in 342 appearances, and while a move to Old Trafford looks unlikely at this stage, another legendary former Red Devil is also a big fan. Ruud van Nistelrooy, who endured a disastrous spell in the Midlands before his sacking, regularly hailed Vardy and his abilities. Speaking in May, the Dutchman said, "When you see the amount of times a player is performing at the highest level, for me that is the biggest achievement. When you're capable of performing in 13 seasons at this level, coming up to 500 games, coming up 200 goals, that says it all. On your mindset and standards you set yourself, how you live your life around football and how you perform. Then you look at the trophies he won, also the individual achievements. It's the total package of one of the greatest." Vardy is not the only free agent that United have been offered amid their search for a new forward this summer. Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Callum Wilson have also emerged as options for the Red Devils following their exits from Everton and Newcastle respectively. Meanwhile, Ollie Watkins is also on United's shortlist, but Aston Villa are expected to demand around £60 million for the forward. Bryan Mbeumo is running out of patience as his dream move to Manchester United hangs in the balance. The Brentford star, fresh off a sensational 20-goal season, has made it clear he wants Old Trafford. But with Brentford rejecting multiple bids and holding out for more than $62.5 million, United are now under pressure to act fast or risk missing out. Will the Red Devils finally get their man? Let's break it all down. Bryan Mbeumo is growing increasingly frustrated by Manchester United's failure to agree a deal with Brentford. The forward has made it clear that he wants to join United this summer, having rejected the chance to follow former Bees boss Thomas Frank to Tottenham. Brentford want more than the $62.5 million United paid Wolves for Matthias Cunha and have rejected 2 bids so far. United are now weighing up a third offer for Mbeumo, who scored 20 goals in 38 Premier League games last season. And as first reported by The Standard, both Mbeumo and Brentford have become frustrated with the slow progress. Brentford are happy with their stance, feeling it has been backed up by the prices both being asked and paid by clubs for players in similar positions, notably Noni Madueke and Anthony Elanga. Arsenal are interested in signing Madueke, with Chelsea valuing the England international at more than $50 million, while Newcastle have agreed a deal worth $55 million to sign Elanga from Nottingham Forest. Brentford believe the fee they are demanding for Mbeumo, when compared to the aforementioned trio, is more than fair. Director of Football Phil Giles recently spoke out about Mbeumo's future and suggested he could end up staying at Brentford. He had a fantastic season, Giles told BBC Sport said last month. We expected big interest in him. We have had big interest in him. He has his ideas about where he wants to take his career. Of course he does. He is well within his rights to do that. We are in constant dialogue with him and representatives about that. As it stands at the minute, we don't have an agreement in place for him to leave. It is not impossible he is still a Brentford player next season if we agree he is going to stay. It has to be the right deal for Brentford, any club will tell you that. If it's not right deal, why would we do it? He is certainly one of our best players, if not our best player, and we need our best players. There's no harm in keeping your best players. However, Brentford have agreed a deal to sell club captain Christian Norgård to Arsenal for around $10 million. We have been in conversations with Arsenal for the last week to 10 days, Giles confirmed. As it stands, it hasn't been completed yet, but it is heading in that direction. If that happens for him, then fantastic, he's earned it. He's been a brilliant captain for us. Let's see how that story ends, but we are pretty open about that interest there. Marcus Rashford's hopes of landing a dream switch to Barcelona have been aided after another of their targets had to be scratched off their list. Rafael Leao is the latest major name who won't be joining the Catalans, who have had little joy with their pursuit of more firepower this summer. The AC Milan star has excelled at the San Siro, and new manager Max Allegri insists he is going nowhere. Barcelona, fresh off the back of securing a domestic double in Hansi Flick's first season, are looking to bolster a forward line that already includes Robert Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. Leao had been identified as their latest target, but the Italians have no plans to sell. Allegri has said, "I'm sure I can bring out that extra something he's been missing. I'm glad he stayed. He's now more responsible, more mature, and has all the qualities to become one of the best." That comes after Barcelona also missed out on Nico Williams and Luis Diaz. The latter was thought to be their priority, but Liverpool have made it clear, whilst his contract is winding down, that the Colombian will not be departing Anfield. As a result, Barcelona made a beeline for Williams, who put himself on the map with a stellar showing in last summer's Euros. He remains a leading light at Athletic Bilbao, and after being close to a move, has U-turned and chosen to sign a long-term deal at San Mamés, after Barcelona couldn't offer him certain guarantees. It means the Spanish giants are back to the drawing board, and Rashford could be a name they now consider. The Manchester United forward doesn't appear to have any future under Ruben Amorim after being loaned out back at the start of the year. His move to Aston Villa was a success, but has not been made permanent, and Rashford has been somewhat left in the lurch over his next move. It is understood that the England international sees Barcelona as his dream destination, and that move could now materialise if they persist with their plan to add another forward. Newcastle are also among those to express an interest in Rashford, but they want a loan move, whilst those in Manchester want an end to the saga with a permanent exit on their radar. The 27-year-old has proven he can be prolific in the past, but he's been blighted by inconsistencies.